Hello there, and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. This video will be another unboxing, and this time we'll take a look at the new Sturginium Skies starter set for Dystopian Wars. It is the second starter set, following the Hunt for the Prometheus, which was the first starter set that launched the third edition of the game. And this one comes alongside a whole new version of the rules. It's mostly the same game, but much better balanced. And yeah, this is also the first time, and we will see what is inside, that we have a lot of aerial units. Thus far it was more like classical ships and battleships and aircraft carriers, etc. Here we have, as you can see, a lot of the more esoteric ships that can be found within the dystopian age. Also, once we have opened the box, we will have a look at what is inside, and we will discover what type of ships we can build. We will give a little tips because there are some mistakes to avoid, and we will also have a look at the campaign booklet that is included inside. And yeah, finally we will just give a few different tips on how to play, how to build, and how to list build what is inside this box. So let's begin to unbox it directly, because it's still under its plastic protection. We take this opportunity to thank Warcradle that sent us this box in advance so we could discover it with you. Do note that we are like completely free in what we say. I do love the game already, but we are not like paid or anything to say anything good, so we will really be completely honest about what we like and what we don't like. So already we can see that it's a box, it's a good box. Again, the same size as these massive, like huge Battlefleet set that we've seen before with the previous starter set or with the Archimedes recently. And yeah, it's very high quality box already. It really tells us, or me at least, that yeah, they are proud of their product and they don't mind putting the price for the packaging to really insist on this. So we can see that it's really packed. I don't know if you can see the side, but yeah, it's literally overflowing if you start to shake it. So what do you have? First things first, we have books. We have the new campaign booklet. This we will take a look at the end. It's also in the sequel of the Hunt from the Prometheus that we had from the first starter set. This one is in English, from what I can say. Read, yeah, but it's fine. Like, you don't need really the French rules, and if you do, they are available online. By the way, I do have the English version of the box, so yeah, that actually explains why it is all in English. Then you have the new updated rules with a lot of fluff, a lot of stories, and yeah, as we said, the game was not perfectly balanced as it started. However, now with this latest version of the rules, it's not perfect yet, but it's really good. Like, I've never played a game with anyone saying like, yeah, my list was bad, I had no chance, etc. It's really a fun game to play, but this we will do a how to start video. What do we have? We have as well those things which might look weird if you don't know what to look for. It's a token of conditions. For example, if you are underwater, you put a little thing like this next to your ship. If you start to take panic, you become yellow, then red, then black, etc, etc. And the blue ones are interesting. It's what you put next to your ship to say that it's been activated this turn, and so it will not be activated again until the next turn. So one for each player, because again, it is a starter set, so it's meant to be shared between two people. One can take the Imperium that is inside, the Prussians, and another one can take the British and the Canadians. We'll have a look at the miniatures in a second. And yeah, and you can use those to say the number of health you still have left. So let's take a closer look now at the heart of the box, which is the sprues. First things first, we can see before anything else that this is extremely high quality, as always from Warcradle. Like, I mean, just the level of detail is really impressive. We're talking like really like Games Workshop level of quality, and yeah, no mold, really good. This is already Canadian, as we can see. There is these nice little Orca submarines, very cute, and I really appreciate how Warcradle managed to give personality to every faction. Even though we already seen smaller submarines from the Aquila and the Black Wolf Battlefleet, But those, even though they're the same concept, small submarines and very small miniatures, as you can see, it's like as small as a finger. They really have a lot of personality in how they're built. So you get 2 of these sprues, of these Canadian sprues. We can see that they also build parts of the new Canadian cruisers that we will talk about. You actually get a 1/3 of this. Wow, that is a lot. And you get some bays on this side. Flying bays that are used for aerial units. We have a lot of aerials and you do put them on flight stands on this. Let's continue on the right side, and we do have even more for the British and Canadians. We can see their little Mass 1 ships, aircrafts, Mass 2 aircrafts, and yeah, this I don't know yet what it is. We will discover it later when we see the instructions. About the building instructions, they are in the campaign booklet. You also have in the campaign booklet the current statistics for every unit. And if you want the building instructions for this book or or any other box, remember that they're always available online for free. More flight stands. We have a lot of aerial units, so it is quite important. We see that they have different sizes depending on the unit that is on it, obviously. Again, the same flyer sprue, you get a second one, so we are already at 2. For now, we've only seen British. Even more flight stand. You do have a lot of these flying ships. And a 3rd sprue of the flyers. It does look, yeah, it's exactly the same. So as you can see, it's like really overpacked. Look at all these sprues. This box is less than £100, like it's gonna be about 100 euros. And yeah, you do get a lot of plastic, like it's still going. More and more flight stands. And I think that's it. I think with this you can build all the aircrafts of the British, which is already a lot. They have some submarines, some surface Canadian cruisers. And okay, we switch to the Imperium. You get this sprue that we've already seen before. It's a support cruiser sprue. We can see from this you can make some different type of cruisers. With this you can make the aircraft carrier, the Conrad. This is the more classic thing where you can just put some weapons on it. And of course you get some flight tokens, bomber, no, this is the bomber, and some classic aircraft. We will talk more later about how to really build what is the best composition, etc. We will just give you a couple tips here, and later we will make a dedicated video about how to build this box with the different options. But as you've seen before, we've done this for other fleets. The flight stands themselves, quite good quality, as always, clear plastic as it should be. Yeah, it keeps going. So a second sprue of support for the Prussians, exactly the same. More flight stands. It just keeps going. And okay, this is new. This is new. All right, this is the main sprue for the Stark Imperium Zeppelin. It is the one that is literally on the box, this huge aircraft carrier. We'll have a look in the back in a minute how it looks like, but just judging from this, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be massive. There are a few options you can build. We will see later how easy or hard it is to magnetize it, because yeah, unlike most Mass 3, Mass 4 ships, this one has 2 different variants that you can build. We have those black tokens. For those who don't know, and I've seen this question popping up quite often, this is what you put your little aircraft on, like these little bombers. You put it on, you just glue it, and you will notice that you have more of these little black things than the actual planes. This is because how it's meant to be played. You put as many of these black tokens piled up as you want next to a ship, and then you just put one with the plane on the top. And if you have 5 tokens and just a little plane on the top, it means you have 5 squadrons. This is how it's supposed to be, and this is why you will have some black tokens left when you're done building. The second half of the Zeppelin, which looks exactly the same. Actually, this is quite interesting. We can see that you have, for example, 2 of these huge aircraft carrier landing area, and same for the other side. Like, yeah, you see, it's exactly the same. And why is it interesting? Because you will only ever need one, but they probably did this so it's more convenient to produce. it means that you can absolutely use the extra bits that you will get, and you will have at least this thing and probably a lot more stuff around here to make some terrain. And if you do want to make an island with a little airfield on it, this will be absolutely perfect because you will have an extra bit of this. Good to keep in mind. All right, we are almost done for the sprues. Just a lot more flight stands because yeah, like that is a lot. That is a lot. We'll see later if it's needed. Okay, more of a new sprues. We can see some more aircraft tokens, and yeah, we can see the new Mass 1, Mass 2, and Escort, so Mass 0 tokens that you can have for Zeppelins. They're extremely cute, and as we can see, they're already highly detailed. It should not take a lot of effort to build. Just look at these little escorts. They should just be like in 2 parts, clipped and done. Same with the other ones. Maybe the Mass 2, it will be a little bit harder to magnetize, especially the nose that we can have here, but it should be quite easy. Like probably yes. We'll have a look later. We'll make another video once everything is built and painted to see how it was. More flight stands. It just does. It's like Christmas and you keep getting the same present over and over. Almost done. A second sprue of these Mass 2 and Mass 1 and all the smaller Zeppelins. Okay. And we are done for the sprues. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot. But it's not everything that you get within the box yet. And we finished looking at the sprues, which was a lot. But it's not everything yet, because what you also get is 2 sets of those dices, made specifically like it's proprietary dices. We will not explain, but how it plays exactly. We will make a how to play the game video. But basically you have 1 set for each player, which is good. Or if you just want everything for yourself, you have a lot of dices. And you got these critical dices. It's what you use to roll for critical damage. Again, 1 for each player. And once you suffer critical damage, you keep the dice next to the ship to remember what it suffered. So again, 1 for each player, or if you want to keep everything and then you have a big fleet, you will need all of these dices. More stuff in double, 2 sets of cards. Cards is really important to the game, and is it the updated version? Yeah. No, it's not the updated version because they never changed. These cards are very important for the game. You can absolutely play without them, but it's become harder in this newer version of the game, 3.03, because you need to use cards for a lot of things, a lot of the more like special attacks that you can have. However, you can absolutely start your first games without. Though they had a lot of strategy and tactics to the game, and yeah, everybody I play with, they really enjoy that there is this resource management with cards. And last but not least is this. So what is it? Actually, it's everything you need to move your ships. You need to unclip everything, and then these 2 parts on the side will be like a little measurement to measure distances. It goes from 0 to 10 inches. Then you have this thing here, which is a torrent template. Let's imagine big flamethrower. You see, it's like a torrent template. Then this round stuff here is the blast template when you have a big explosion. And finally this, you might wonder, is it to like angle of fire or something? No, it's when you turn, this is what you use to see how fast and how hard you can turn with a ship. But again, we will see this more in detail in how to play video, which we will make. And that's it for the content of the box. Now we can just have a look at what you get. You have basically all the rules that you would have on the internet, all the fluff, etc., etc., which is very good. What is more interesting in this is that you do have, this is exactly the rules. I was like, yeah, it is exactly the one on the internet. It's the second book that you get, which might be interesting. First of all, you do get the building instructions, again, so you don't have to have a look on the internet on how to build the ships. and the sprues of War Cradle are really well made. Like they really tell you, okay, this is on sprue number 2, this is on the left side of the sprue, and this is the number of the bit exactly. So it's very, very convenient. They show you the different options, etc. And this is really like well made. What you also get is the statistics for your ships. Again, you don't need to print them since you have this here. They usually include this in the larger box, such as the Archimedes box. You have this little thing here, very, very convenient. It's like a little reminder of what each dice does, what happens in the round, etc. Very good to just keep it on the side of the table like this, and keep the rule book next. It's like a little remember what to do. And finally, something interesting as well is that you have a campaign, which means you have some missions that will show the story of the book, which means like the Prussian invasion of Canada, like a little onslaught. And it's interesting fluff-wise, but more importantly, it teaches you how to play the game. Like you will start with very like 2 or 3 ships. You will learn how to move, how to shoot, and mission after mission, you will really learn like how to play the game, how to use cards, how to do boarding, etc., etc. Which is good. We might actually use some of those for our how to play videos. We do notice that the book is much larger than the previous campaign rulebook. There were only missions before. There were no building instruction, no stats for the units, etc. So yeah, they really even upscaled the quality of their products. And yeah, now that we've seen what is inside, we will make, as we said, one how to play video with a little series of battle. We will make a what to build, where we will really talk about list composition, etc., how to optimize depending on what you want to build later, etc. But one thing that I want you to see as fast as possible is about the buildings options that you have and the mistakes you might do if you're gonna build this very soon. Because if you buy only this box, and it's a very good game already, just share it with a friend and make some games, it's already very good without buying anything else. You can see that you can build a lot of different things here. And there are some options, if you don't magnetize and you just glue, there are some options that are mandatory if you want to play the campaign that is inside the book, or even mandatory if you want to be able to have a legal list. For example, this huge Zeppelin that we see, it looks very huge on the picture. There are 2 versions to build, aircraft carrier or rocket launcher, like basically a giant battleship. If you want to play the campaign, it needs to be in the aircraft carrier version, because the named version, Prince Eugen, is the one that you need to play the campaign like fluff-wise. So you will need to either magnetize it, either build it definitely as a flying aircraft carrier. This is for the campaign, and same thing around here. You will need the anti-aircraft version of the support cruiser if you want to play the campaign, etc., etc. The more important thing is for the British and the Canadian. If you have the British part of this set, be careful, because there is only one way to have a legal list. You can build these cruisers as a lot of different variants, as a Newfoundland, as a Bonaventure. But if you want to play legally, you need to build 2 out of 3 of those as a Toronto cruiser, which will be a flagship. It becomes a flagship if you do that, and that's the only way you can make a legal list with this. So be very careful, either magnetize, either play with proxy, or build the Toronto right away. And personal tips, the third one, you should build it as a Halifax shield cruiser, because it's really useful. The rest, you can be quite free about it, but yeah, just be careful with the Toronto. You need 2 of those if you want to be able to play this legally. And yeah, you have a lot of aircraft tokens as well. And one question you might have is like, okay, this is a carrier, this can become an aircraft carrier, but the British, they don't have any aircraft carrier. Why do they give me little aircraft tokens? This is because there is a specific battle fleet composition that you can build with the Canadians that give you some aircraft support even if you don't have any aircraft carrier. It's called the Snowbird Strike rule, and yeah, this is why you have those. So don't be confused, even if you don't have carriers, this is why you have tokens, and this is how you're supposed to build them. Last but not least tip, we've just been teased that in November there will be a new Canadian battle fleet that will be released with the Protector, which is the submarine aircraft carrier. First of all, lovely miniature, and if you buy this box, this half of the British, plus the new upcoming Protector, you will be much more free to play the list legally, even if you don't build those as a Toronto, but it requires you to build another of the Crown box. That's it for the tips. We'll make a more detailed analysis of every different combination and type of ships in a later video. Until then, if you have any questions about what is inside the box, etc., etc., do let us know in the comments and I will answer it as fast as possible. If you have any suggestions, comment, how we can improve, we are always very welcome to hear it. And I hope that the video was enjoyable. If you did enjoy, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you can see the next upcoming videos as soon as they are released. We make unboxings, list analysis, what to build with each boxes, and now we started releasing also video battle reports, which is, yeah, it's interesting. Let us know what you do, and even though the battle reports are in French, you have English subtitles, so always good to have your feedback on this. Thank you very much for watching and staying with us. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love around you. Bisous!